You wake up at 5:47 a.m. to a tiny hand on your face. The coffee you microwaved twice is still cold. By noon, you've changed 4 diapers, mediated to sibling wars, and answered 17 questions about why the sky is blue. And yet, when someone asks what you did today, you freeze. Because how do you quantify the work nobody ever sees? Here's what the productivity gurus won't tell you. The invisibility of your labor isn't a bug. It's the system. And the same system that makes your work invisible is the same one that will try to sell you a side hustle that requires you to show up like you don't have a toddler velcroed to your leg. But what if I told you the invisibility itself is the business model? What if the ability to work in the margins, to build something no one notices until it's already making money, is your competitive advantage? Let me show you how to turn the work nobody sees into the income everybody wants. The business model I'm about to walk you through is called a silent systems business. It's not a course, it's not a funnel. It's a revenue-generating asset you build in 15-minute increments, during nap time, after bedtime, in the carpool line. And the best part, no one has to see you building it until you decide to let them. Here's how it works. Most businesses fail because they require constant visibility, posting every day, going live, building a personal brand. But a silent systems business operates on a different principle. You build the infrastructure once, and it works whether you're on camera or not. The 3 models that fit this framework are template stores, micro-SaaS tools, and licensing content. Let me break each one down. First, template stores. You create a digital template, once resume templates, budget spreadsheets, social media planners, Canva templates for small businesses. You upload it to Etsy, Creative Market, or Gumroad, and then it sells while you're folding laundry. The average top-performing template seller on Etsy makes between $3,000 and $7,000 a month, not because they're posting every day, because they built a product that solves a recurring problem, and recurring problems create recurring revenue. Second, micro-SaaS tools. This sounds technical, but it's not. A micro-SaaS is a tiny software tool that solves one specific problem. Think a Chrome extension that auto-formats Instagram captions, a simple calculator for Etsy sellers to price their products, a Notion template that syncs with Google Calendar. You don't need to code it yourself. Platforms like Bubble, Softer, and Glide let you build functional tools with drag-and-drop interfaces. And once it's live, it runs on subscriptions. $5 a month times 200 users is $1,000 in monthly recurring revenue. Built once, sold infinitely. Third, licensing content. This is where the invisible work you're already doing becomes the product. You create stock photos, video templates, music loops, or educational PDFs. Then you license them to businesses, creators, or educators. They pay you every time they use it. Shutterstock contributors, for example, earn between $300 and $3,000 a month uploading images they took on their phone. Not because they're influencers. Because they created assets that solve problems at scale. Notice the pattern. In every model, you build it once, and it earns while you're doing the work nobody sees. Now, here's where most people get stuck. They think, I don't have time to build a store, or a tool, or a content library. And you're right, you don't have time. Not in the way the internet defines time, but you do have 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, repeated strategically, becomes a system. Here's the Naptime build protocol. Week 1, research. Spend 15 minutes a day on Etsy, Creative Market, or UI8 studying what's already selling. Don't guess what people want. Look at the data. Sort by bestsellers. Read the reviews. What are people asking for that doesn't exist yet? Week 2, create your first asset. 1 template. 1 tool, prototype. 1 piece of licensed content, not 10. 1. Make it simple, functional, and specific. A budget template for single moms, a Canva template for dog walkers, a stock photo pack of real messy kitchens for mom bloggers. Week 3, upload and optimize. Write a keyword-rich title. Use tags. Write a description that answers the question, what problem does this solve? This is where most people quit, because it feels like shouting into the void. But you're not shouting, you're planting. Week 4, create asset number 2. Then 3, then 4. By month 2, you have 12 products live. And that's when the compounding starts. Because here's the truth about silent systems. The first product might make $5. The 10th product might make $50. But product 30, that's the one that starts making $500. Not because it's better, because you finally understand the market. And while you're building this, you're going to need tools that don't slow you down. If you're creating templates, you don't need Adobe Creative Cloud yet. Canva Pro is enough. If you're organizing your product ideas, a simple planner works better than 17 apps. To save you the headache, I put a link to the planner that actually works in the description. It's the one I used when I was mapping this exact system out between diaper changes. Now let's talk about the reality check, because I'm not going to lie to you the way the highlight reel does. This isn't passive income, not at first. Passive income is what happens after you build the active system. The first 3 months are set up. You're researching, you're creating, you're learning platforms. You're getting rejected by your first 10 customers, or getting 0 sales while you figure out what resonates. But here's what changes. You're building an asset, not trading time for money, not dependent on your face or your voice or your ability to show up when you're touched out and running on 4 hours of sleep. You're building something that works when you don't, and that distinction, that shift from I am the product to I own the product, is the difference between a side hustle and a business. Let's talk numbers, not promises. Data. The average Etsy template seller with 20 products live earns between $200 and $800 a month. The top 10% earn between $2,000 and $5,000. Micro SaaS tools with 50 active users at $10 a month generate $500 in monthly recurring revenue. Licensing platforms like Shutterstock, Adobe Stock, and Epidemic Sound report that consistent contributors earn between $300 and $2,000 a month. These aren't lottery tickets, these are averages, and averages are built by people who stayed consistent through the invisible phase. So what does consistent look like when you're a mom? It looks like 15 minutes after the kids are in bed. It looks like using voice memos to brainstorm product ideas while you're driving. It looks like batching content creation during weekend nap time instead of scrolling. It looks invisible, until it's not. And here's the part that nobody talks about. The invisibility is the power. Because while everyone else is burning out trying to be seen, you're building equity. Quiet equity. The kind that doesn't need applause to be valuable. You're not a content creator. You're a systems architect. And systems don't care if you brushed your hair today. Let me tell you what this actually buys you. Not just money, autonomy. Autonomy to say no to the job that requires you to miss bedtime. Autonomy to work when your brain works, not when a manager schedules you. Autonomy to build something your kids will watch you create, not something that takes you away from them. And maybe, for the first time, someone will ask what you did today, and you'll have an answer that doesn't require you to justify why it mattered. Because the work you do in the margins, the systems you build in the silence, the assets you create while everyone else is asleep, that's not invisible work. That's legacy work, and legacy doesn't need to be seen to be real. Disclaimer: this content is for educational and informational purposes only, and does not constitute financial or business advice. Earnings and results vary based on effort, market conditions, and strategy. Always do your own research before starting any business. Some links in the description may be affiliate links.